What we're going to be covering this week are data types and database design, and where you are going to be applying that information is to your own database that you will be creating as part of your final project. So you are going to want to go through the information on Chapter 8. There is nothing for you to turn in from that chapter. It's just general information about the data types in SQL Server. And when you create your own database for the term project, you are going to have to indicate what the data types of the different columns are. So this information is something that you are going to be using a lot in the next couple weeks. Then chapter 10 gets into database design, and designing the database correctly is kind of tricky. It is something that you will get better at with practice. And so this, for many of you, is going to be an introduction to that whole process. And normalization is basically a process that we go through to make sure that the database is set up properly. And in this lecture demo, we do go through all of the different stages of normalization, but in reality, you really only have to apply the first 3 steps, and that is what you're going to be required to do in your term project. So we'll go through all of them here just so you know what they are, and then we will be applying the first 3. And the textbook assignment has you creating what's called ER diagrams. Basically, you can do this right in Microsoft Word. They have flowchart shapes that you can add that represent your tables. And then you can do connecting lines, showing how you are going to share data between the tables. And you can also indicate if it's a one-to-many relationship or a one-to-one. And there are videos that are going to walk you through how to do this in Microsoft Word. And then once you get done with the ER diagram, it should look something like this. And it does not have to look perfect, just so you know. Then you are going to work on a spreadsheet, because quite often businesses will use a spreadsheet as a database because nobody at the business knows how to use database software. So we are going to start with a spreadsheet that you can download. And then once you get that downloaded, you're basically going to be breaking it apart into individual tables. And we're going to put the tables in different sheets, but just so you can see what this looks like. So you will have to have both Word and Excel. Okay, so this is what the original one looks like, and we are going to be splitting it apart into tables because this is way too much information for a single database table. So this is actually going to walk you through that normalization process. You know, what are the questions that you have to ask to determine if it's in first normal form, second normal form, and third normal form? You know, and how do we in Excel get this data into the different sheets? So it's pretty important that you watch the videos while you are working on this, unless you are already really familiar with Excel. So this is how to do the spreadsheet portion. And then to do the ER diagram for this task, this video shows you how to do that. The ER diagram is done in Word, and the spreadsheet portion is done in Excel. And this is just a little example of when you're done, what your different tables should look like. It's a web page, so you can view everything online. For the ER diagram, I'm giving you a starter document, which you can go ahead and download. That should help you out just a little bit for the second part of this. And if you need to see another example that has been normalized, you can take a look at this. So here's the answer key for that, and there's the starting spreadsheet. And you can kind of go through this for additional practice. Okay, this is not an assignment, it's just something extra if you want to do it. So what you are going to need to turn in from this assignment is the first ER diagram, the normalized spreadsheet, and then the second ER diagram from that normalized spreadsheet. And again, there are videos that explain everything that you are supposed to do. So that is the assignment for this week. You will notice in the resource section that I have extra examples or explanations for you, just in case you need more information. And as I said, normalization and going through this whole design process is something that you get better at the more you do it. So I do not expect you guys to do this perfectly. Okay, so this is what we're doing in week 4, and it is basically preparing us for our first milestone in our term project, which we will be working on in week 5.